Welcome to Station F. We are super excited to welcome you for the third edition of the Future 40, where we'll be unveiling the 40 most promising seed stage companies on campus. It is a very exciting time in the local ecosystem, Station F included. The companies that you will see today are the rising stars, the ones that you should keep your eye on. And the 40 startups that we have picked have been selected from the 1,000 companies we have on campus. In order to be eligible for today's event, the companies had to have raised less than 1 million euros to date. That means anywhere from 0 to 1 million. And they had to have strong metrics. The companies that you will see come from different Station F programs and cover a variety of topics, including near space travel, blockchain and crypto, no-code tools, remote working tools, financial solutions, and a lot more. We're also pleased to say that we have a lot of companies this year building sustainable solutions. We're also pleased to say that this year we have a lot of companies building sustainability-related businesses. We also have one company that was selected from the Fighters program, our program for underprivileged founders. In case you missed out on previous editions, some of the companies included Lemlist, Stonely, 900 Care, Fintech, Leeway, and many more. The two previous editions have raised collectively over 100 million euros to date. You are several hundred investors from around the world to join us today. If any of you would like to get in touch with any of the companies you see, please use the intro tool on the website. I'd also like to thank Indeed and our 200 partner funds, including EQT, Stride, Partech, North Zone, Local Globe, and many more for helping us with our study on talent and the future of work. The results were released this morning on data.stationf.co. We're convinced that with the momentum of the current ecosystem, talent will become an increasingly important topic. And we're convinced that some of the results and findings will be able to help some of the local startups. All right, now back to what you've all been waiting for, the Future 40. I'm going to hand it over to Marwan.
Friends, on behalf of the whole staff, I'm so happy to welcome all of you for the third edition of the Future 40. The team and all the program managers worked super hard to feature the most promising pre-seed and seed startups across the whole campus. Of course, we had to make tough choices among the 1,000 startups of the campus, but we're super happy to have a dozen of startup programs in this edition, including HEC, Entrepreneur First, Pépite, EDEC, BNP, TF1, Avast, the Founders and the Fighters programs, as well as two new programs that joined the Station F family this year, 42 and Central Supélec. The startups were nominated by their program managers, and they were selected based on their KPIs, tractions, roadmaps, and the founders' backgrounds. So now, here are the rules. In the next hour, you're going to listen to 40 pitches, all in English, with one founder presenting for 2 minutes. You will get also access to an interface with additional information on the team, on the startup itself, and most of all, you can request an intro at any time with the button below, so please use it. The 40 startups are split into 6 categories: Web3, Fintech, Cleantech and Greentech, Data and Automation, Customers Experiences, and Moonshot startups. And without further ado, let's start with the first category, Web3. We are all experiencing a shift from Web 2 that revolutionized social interactions to Web 3 that is mainly a revolution of value exchange. Web 2 was a front-end revolution, Web 3 is a back-end revolution. And the 3 startups you're going to see in that section are hopefully definitely helping in that transition. If you want to develop an application on blockchain, if you want to leverage blockchain networks for their promising governance infrastructure, or if you want to have the best security infra for your crypto assets projects. So next are Defense, BlockPulse, and Starton.
Hi, I'm Clarisse, CEO of Defense. We provide security to keep crypto assets free from danger. 18 months ago, I dropped my life as a banker to enter the world of crypto. It was ground zero. So much had to be built. But there was one emergency. Since 2010, $150 billion of Bitcoin had been lost. In 2019 only, more than 500,000 of accounts had been hacked on exchanges. As we build the foundation of a digital economy that will be worth 10% of the world's total assets in only 6 years, security and trusted custody of digital assets are an absolute necessity. This is why we launched Defense, a security suite for crypto. We provide bank-grade custody as an API. Developers do not need to code their own security infrastructure anymore. From now on, banks, investors, and companies can safely deploy a decentralized custody network with one single line of code. Custody was a luxury before. Our SaaS model finally makes it affordable. We charge an annual subscription fee, transparent and predictable. As a result, our waitlist has grown by 1,000% since our pre-launch in June. Our clients are crypto scale-ups like Figment, StakeDAO, Montpellier, and Consensus, as well as major financial institutions like ABN AMRO. All this is made possible by a team of 12 people, including a CTO who has already sold a digital asset custodian, a PhD in cryptography, the former deputy head of the French Cyber Command, a serial entrepreneur, and an ex-investment banker. Together, we raised $1 million in pre-seed, we shipped a fully fledged product, and we forged an amazing team spirit. Developers do need banking Lego for crypto. We are building it, brick by brick.
Hello everyone, my name is Thibaut Angelard. I'm the founder and CEO of BlockPulse, a shareholding management platform based on asset tokenization. It's now obvious that crypto markets and blockchain are fundamentally changing the world of finance and the internet as a whole. The number one reason for this success is an insane level of community engagement. And the number one reason for this engagement is token incentives, as it aligns projects and the interest of the holders in the both short and long term. At BlockPulse, we are applying this innovation to tackle legal complexities for startup founders to help them manage capital incentive at scale. Because operational capital remain extremely complex for startup founders to manage, and as just as important, equity value is hard to materialize for founders, employees, and investors. So how do we do it? We created a programmable equity platform based on smart contracts, enabling full automation on legal tasks, transferability by design on every asset, and compliance and traceability on every movement. Our clients can issue, manage, and provide liquidity on every financial securities within their organizations, thanks to a complete legal and tech framework to do so. During this first year of go-to-market, we managed to onboard 350 startups, launch around 150 assets on blockchain, and manage more than 25 million of financial flow within these organizations. We are transforming capital markets for the ecosystem, one startup at a time, and as we play the lead for the European market of security token, I'm sure you don't want to miss that.
Hello, my name is Fabien. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Starton.io. Starton is probably one of the most ambitious companies in the world. We are taking the complex blockchain technology to make it simple and accessible. Blockchain technology and Web3 are the next revolution in the software industry. They enable you to create a new type of software, a new type of application. But this exciting technology comes with many challenges. You need to learn new programming language, new tools, and master a new complex architecture. And believe me, we know it. Back in 2020, we were building an application for the decentralized finance. By building it, we faced many challenges, many troubles, dealing with scalability issues, to security, to handling this new architecture. So we decided to step back and to build the foundation and the infrastructure to build this product better and faster. And it's at this point that Starton was born, that we realized that we could offer this solution to other developers. We truly believe that digital innovations come from developers, so we are building the tools and foundation for them. We have built a powerful API that enables you to connect any type of application to blockchain technologies. We handle all the complexity and all the infrastructure so our user can stay focused on their product and their vision. We have an API-driven solution with a developer-centric approach. In the past 6 months, we have reached a 10K community of blockchain enthusiasts and hundreds of developers, creating new disruptive services and products from video games to decentralized finance to supply chain. We are building the next software industry leader, and if you want to be part of it, you can join us.
While you may be disappointed by the COP26 outcomes, there are more and more companies that are addressing the global warming challenges. And in this section, we're super proud to have 6 startups that are offering proven and concrete solutions for any companies and for the most polluting sectors, including agriculture, including the construction industry. Consumers are also considered, with a great second-hand marketplace for sports gears and clothes, and also great tools for e-commerce websites. So next are Trace, Composite, White Sands, Rise, Carbon Croc, and Campsider.
The climate is fucked. Humans have just spent 150 years emitting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The good news is that we're now starting to take some of this carbon back out of the atmosphere thanks to carbon offsets and removals. The voluntary carbon offset market is seeing record growth. It's doubled over the past 2 years and is set to be worth over $200 billion by 2050. That's why I started Carbon Croc with Paul, my co-founder, who I met at the École 42. Carbon Croc allows for a seamless integration of carbon removals into any product or service, connecting high-quality suppliers with buyers. We know that brands are already losing time and money trying to green their business without the proper know-how. Our solution? We empower e-commerce stores to measure and neutralize in real time the environmental impact of every product they sell. What Stripe did to payments, Carbon Croc is doing to sustainability. Our business model is simple. We make money every time a product is offset. So you know that there's just a little bit of self-interest in our goal to remove millions of tons of carbon from the atmosphere every single year. Having just built an MVP, we've already removed the environmental impact of over 100,000 products worth over $500,000 GMV. And this is just the beginning, because we will stop at nothing to take a crocodile-sized bite out of the climate crisis. Carbon Croc is the future of sustainability as a service. We would love for you to join us on this journey to carbon neutrality. So please, be green and feed the croc.
At Rise, we believe that sustainable development is not only about caring for the environment, but also about engaging people. And that's why we believe that finance must play a key role in the transition. At Rise, our mission is to accelerate the adoption of regenerative agriculture. And our weapon is carbon finance. So why agriculture? Not only agriculture is responsible for nearly 25% of greenhouse gases worldwide emissions, but through the adoption of regenerative agriculture, soils have the potential to become the largest natural carbon sink in Europe, even before forestry. Rise is making farmers' journey into carbon finance easy and accessible. On our platform, farmers can, with their data, understand their carbon footprint and the levers they can implement to improve their footprint, and they can also receive some financing for their climate action. This financing will come from carbon credits and low-carbon supply chains. We have created the most advanced carbon monitoring infrastructure with a combination of several advanced technologies, such as carbon footprint calculation, advanced soil modeling, or satellite imagery. This infrastructure is compliant with the most robust certification frameworks for carbon credits. And this makes Rise the first scalable platform for certified carbon finance in agriculture in the world. For farmers, it's just a no-brainer to join us. After just 2 months into commercialization, we have more than 10 partners in France deploying our solutions, and more than 100 farmers on our platform. Today, we are creating the greatest product in France before initiating our European expansion soon. Happy to connect with you.
Each year, European forests lose about 5 million hectares of forest to insect outbreaks. That's about 10 times the amount of forest loss from forest fires, making insect outbreaks the #1 cause of forest loss in temperate forests. Facing this crisis, foresters don't have the tools they need. They can either go out and manually scout and forest in the field, but that takes too long, especially in larger forests. Or they can use multispectral drones, but they're too expensive, especially when they're used on a regular basis. Our solution is to use satellite imagery to monitor forest health on a regular basis. Our patent-pending tech enables us to monitor forest health at a cost 10 times cheaper than existing solutions. So how does it work? Well, first we download satellite imagery from the European Space Agency. Then we process it using our patent-pending models. After we're done with that, we send a map of all the forestry risks in a forest to the foresters using our mobile and web apps. They go into the field and intervene as needed. And it's working. In the last year, we've raised over €1 million to build our first algorithm. We've scaled it to about 60,000 hectares of forest all across Europe. And now we're ready to start scaling internationally. In the next coming months, we're going to scale in Canada, the US, and the rest of Europe. We're also using the same tech to develop a new product aimed at bringing more transparency to the booming carbon credit market. If you'd like to chat, just press the button on the interface, and we'll love to get in touch. I'm Thibaut from WildSense, and thank you for listening.
When I started to work in construction back in 2009, carbon emissions were not even a topic. We poured concrete, we bent iron, without even thinking that we had environmental impacts. Today, we know that the building industry is responsible for not less than 1/3 of our global emissions. If we want to achieve carbon neutrality, then we have to drastically change the way we design and the way we construct our buildings. And this is happening already. New regulations are coming into force. And we already know that it will be impossible, even illegal, to use the materials the way you use them in just a few years. This is a 10 trillion market entering its carbon revolution. Just think about it. 2.5 million building designers working as architects, constructors, real estate developers. All of them, they will have to switch from decades-old techniques almost overnight. 1.5 years ago, I paired up with Boris to tool this transition. Boris is a PhD in material science, and he's an expert in data analysis. Together with a team of 6 software and building engineers, we are developing a unique digital platform for building designers to propose to them the best solution for each project, just in few clicks. In Composite, we gather together a lot of data about construction products, and we make them enter into our own nomenclature so we can use algorithm on it. Where 50 engineers could find one solution in one day for one specific problem, our solution can bring the best options on the table in a matter of seconds. Our platform has been manipulated already by big names in the industry, and we are going to launch our first commercial version by the end of this month. As I said, when I started to work in construction back in 2009, carbon emissions were not even a topic. Today, this is becoming the main topic.
Climate change is the challenge of our century. Every day in the press, companies announce new initiatives to reduce their emissions. But do you know how these companies manage the reduction in their emissions? They use Excel. That's right. Today, 86% of major companies are using Excel files to measure their emissions and track their progress. Excel is flexible and easy to use. But what about when you have to measure emissions from several countries or sites? Or when multiple users will have to fill in data or collaborate? What happened to your Excel files if the carbon accounting rules change over the years? The reality is that the tools currently used by companies are unfitted. That's why we created Trace, a SaaS solution allowing companies to manage all their carbon strategy in one place. Thanks to Trace, companies will be able to monitor their carbon footprint at every level of the company, deeply analyze their emissions and decide actions to build an ambitious climate strategy, engage every part of their business thanks to our collaboration tools, KPIs benchmarking, and real-time reporting. To differentiate ourselves from existing players, we have made two major strategic choices. First, we focus on mid-caps and large corporates on which carbon pressure is higher. Second, we started with a sectoral market approach. The least we can say is that this strategy has paid off. We decided to start with the food industry. Since April, we signed more than 15 clients, including several international groups, and we are already present in more than 100 countries. And that's just the start, as our customers recommend us to their suppliers, allowing us to penetrate the entire value chain. Now that we have validated our execution strategy on the food market, we will replicate it to penetrate other verticals while developing new functionalities to consolidate our position in our sectors. And we have the top team to make it happen. We are complementary with a strong track record in entrepreneurship, strategy consulting, and carbon expertise. We have all cards in hands to execute our plan and make Trace the leading SaaS solution for carbon management. Thank you.
Second-hand market is booming. By 2030, the resale market will overpass traditional new markets, reflecting major change in consumer habits. That's why, over the past few years, successful second-hand marketplaces have been built in everything, from luxury with Bessia Collective to electronic goods with Back Market. Yet, sporting goods, this 90 billion euro category in Europe, with more than 200 euro annual average spending per athlete, still lacks a second-hand solution. Buying sports gear online requires a specific and technical e-commerce experience and a sense of trust and community, which is painfully missing on traditional leasing platforms. That's why we are building that marketplace, 100% dedicated to the sports community, allowing athletes to buy and sell easily second-hand top-quality sports gear. We provide them with more than 200 specific and tailored categories and filters, which generate trust thanks to a strong catalog curation, online advice, warranties on every product, and the possibility to have its equipment certified by one of our professional partners. Last but not least, we simplify resale by providing all sellers with tailored logistics solutions to ship every product, from skis to heavy camping tents. In only 8 months, we grew organically to build France's largest second-hand catalog dedicated to sports and outdoor activities, with more than 20,000 available items, 30,000 active users, and 30% month-on-month growth rate, with 20% of repeat for both buyers and sellers. Planning to develop fast into Europe and to expand into the whole sports industry, we are a passionate team dedicated to make the first online shopping destination in order to make sports more sustainable and more accessible. Thank you.
Folks, this year was a tremendous year for fintech startups with huge fundraising for Conto, Payfit, and the Station F and associate program alumni Luco. In this section, you will see great trends with the collapse of HR tech, fintech, and green tech. You will see tools to empower employees towards their salaries, tools to have a better management of your savings for you and your relatives, and tools to attract and retain talents. So next are spares, futures, good vest, and finance.
Hello, I'm Bernard, the CEO of Finance. Today, the world of money is become very complex for older people. They are not able to manage their money themselves, and banks don't care about them. They need help, but there is no solution to collaborate together with family on money management. Finance solves this problem. We have a unique platform that simplifies money management for older people. With Finance, you can aggregate all your bank and financial assets on a single interface, collaborate with all your family on personal finance, create bank account online in less than 8 minutes, and create smart debit card that you can manage remotely in real time. In 2 years, we had built strategic barrier to entry. We are the only one fintech regulated by ACPR, the French bank regulator. It took us nearly 1.5 years to get this agreement. We are also the winner of the Innovation Award of GE Carte Bancaire, the French payment card network that unifies all banks in France. Today, in France, we have 20% of the population that is 60 years old. And we have 11 caregivers that help every day their parents. So the market is very huge and profitable. We already have 6,000 bank accounts connected in real time in finance. We are a team of financial professionals and techie people. We want to become the Revolut for elderly in Europe. So thanks again for your support.
In France, 1 out of 5 people is paying overdraft fees every month, which leads to a 7 billion euros annual revenue stream for the banks. Why are we getting into this? We see 2 main reasons. The first one is a lack of financial education, which is critical in France. And the second one is monthly salary, which is outdated and complicates budget management for everyone. My name is Paul, and at Spare, with my 2 co-founders, Louis and Pierre, we have decided to tackle this issue as a whole, and we think organizations should engage with us to solve this issue, and that's why we're a B2B2C startup. Our value proposition is twofold. First, we modernize payroll and facilitate access to earned salary any day in the month, which means that as an employee, whatever the day in the month, you can track how much you've earned within our app. You can request a portion of that amount, and you receive it instantly in your bank account for free. As an employer, it will help you recruit faster, improve your turnover, and increase employee engagement. Second, we are building a set of tools to enhance financial education among your workers, which will lead to recurring savings for them. We are building a virtuous cycle. Employers engage alongside their teams who feel more secure financially and engage back further into their company. We created Spare in July, and in 4 months, we have built the app, we have convinced a large F&B player to work with us, we have started our operations, and we are building a pipeline of renowned players from luxury to housing sectors. At Spare, our mission is to responsibilize people and to give them the keys of their financial autonomy back.
Hello everyone. Do you know what your money is funding today? Every year, each French citizen's savings emits on average 11 tons of CO2 per year, which represents 15 Paris-New York flights and more than their entire annual consumption. More and more SRI and ESG are loudly proclaimed. But isn't it often greenwashing? Let me give you an example. Only 15% of SRI funds exclude fossil fuels, and most of them have a 3 to 4 degrees global warming trajectory. That's why we created Goodvest. Goodvest is the first Paris Agreement-aligned investment app. Our long-term vision is to become the reference platform for sustainable investing in Europe, starting with life insurance in B2B2C and B2C from 300 euros to wealth management. To align our client portfolios with a 2 degrees global warming trajectory, we analyzed every company on 3 scopes, direct and indirect emissions, in partnership with Carbon for Finance, which was co-founded by Jean-Marc Jancovici. We also exclude harmful sectors such as all fossil fuels, tobacco, weapons, adult entertainment, and companies violating the UN Global Compact. Our client portfolios are also aligned with their project and values, letting them choose their themes such as ecological transition, social responsibility, or biodiversity. In less than 1 year, we built a very experienced team and a unique product that went live to customers 2 months ago. In less than 2 months, we managed more than 3 million euros from 400 customers, with an average of 7,000 euros per user, making us the best launch for General EV internet partners. In 5 years, sustainable investing will be the norm. Together, let's make Goodvest the reference. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. As founders and managers, we've experienced how much companies rely on talent. Their motivation, side by side with founders, is key to allow innovation. Most companies use employee stock option plan to align all those interests. Indeed, ESOP represents more than 100 billion euro, up to 20% of cap tables, which is sometimes more than founders. But until today, the long-term incentive pain was to deal with local laws, employee shareholder equities, high recurring fee with almost no efficiency to retain employees. At Futures, we've met about 100 founders, lawyers, and employees, and with their feedback, we've built a financial platform to distribute the benefits of companies' value without any equity sharing. And this is going to be a game changer. It's a simple SaaS platform that works for employees in Brazil, freelancers in Spain, or partner companies in the USA. Just manage all those talents through a simple dashboard and reward them only on success. They did a great job, so share with them valuable token of the companies. In their wallet, the token's value increases with the company's growth until the exit. And then Futures convert token to cash. So your best talent will stay because they know they will gain more and more for each major achievement. Futures is the perfect answer to founders' incentive issues. First, no equity sharing. Second, it works for employees, freelance, and company partners. And third, it's international by design. Our motivation is to create the new standard of incentive, from startup to stock market companies. Share smartly, grow further with Futures.
Now let's talk about productivity. Going remote, dealing with a huge amount of information, and working with so many stakeholders may change the way we're using productivity softwares right now. Well, good news, a crop of startups are addressing this huge information overload and these ever-changing work environments. They focus on the individual employees, giving them tools to express their creativity and eliminate as much friction as possible. With these new work environments, companies need to be, of course, software companies, but they need also to be data-driven companies. And making the data accessible to any sector, to any employee, is a common element you will see in many pitches. So folks, this is the biggest section of this edition with 16 startups you're going to listen to. And please do not forget to request an intro at any time with the button below to pursue the conversation. Thank you.
Advertising has never been easier. Anyone can create successful ads. All you need to do is to create an ad account and start advertising, right? Well, not so fast. According to Weebly, over 70% of the small businesses fail with their ads. That's 14 million advertisers just on Facebook. So how come ads are extremely accessible, but in the meantime, many startups and small businesses fail trying to create result-bringing ads? Well, actually it's simple. Advertising platforms generate most of their revenue through marketing agencies and big marketing teams, which is why their platforms are designed for these technical marketeers. This is exactly why we created EduNeed. EduNeed is a SaaS platform that allows you to create Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok, and LinkedIn ads, thanks to its user-friendly interface, a unique machine learning model designed to optimize your ads, and many other features our users love. Management and marketing team in Paris, support and development team in Istanbul, EduNeed is profitable since the first day. Now, we want to do what Canva and Shopify did to their own market. We want to capitalize it and become the app to go to create ads, regardless of which platform. Oh, and the next steps? We are building the most sophisticated AI on the market. We are building an AI that will automate the whole advertising process for a small business with a single click. The future of advertising. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm the founder of Used. Brands obtain a lot of data and they want to use it at scale, but they cannot because their creative and media buying teams work in a totally different environments and have different KPIs. There are studies proving that 65 to 70% of a campaign success is driven by creatives, though a performance marketing manager is not able to work with a creative on the fly these days. On the other hand, digital ad production budgets exceeded $30 billion in 2019, and there is a trend in the market where brands are acquiring production tools. There have been 3 deals only this year. Used is developing a workspace where a designer and a campaign manager can collaborate in a cloud, scale ad versioning, streamline approvals, and go live faster. We were inspired by the best in the digital design industry. We took a collaboration of Figma and the easiest way to design of Canva and adopted it to digital ad production and campaign setup. I have a master degree in physics and applied math. Together with Anton, who has a master degree in engineering, we have built a net tech company that grew to $1 million in revenue and expanded into 8 countries just after 18 months, before we found this much bigger market pain. We launched Views Beta a year ago. We have organically acquired more than 8,000 users from 107 countries over the last 10 months. Our current retention rate is 26%. We are now shifting from SMBs to enterprises. And we've just started pilots with 17 brands and agencies globally, like HP, OMD, Havas Digital Factory, to name a few. We are raising funds to fuel our global expansion. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Roy, and I'm the CEO of DataV Lab. Have you ever wondered how a camera is able to automatically read a car's license plate or even recognize a specific person on an image? Well, that's AI. Today, I'm going to talk to you about AI, but this time about teaching an AI to recognize complex objects or events with the same level of precision as an expert would do, like a doctor, a civil engineer, or an agricultural engineer. One of the key and critical steps in building an AI consists in annotating and tagging images in order to teach the machine to do it automatically on its own. The market for image annotation is expected to reach $5 billion by 2025, and the problem is that their current existing solutions are generalists and don't provide an effective answer to most of these complex needs. Our goal at DataV Lab is to simplify and effectively assist AI teams, and more specifically data scientists, in annotating and tagging these images on these complex cases. Our end-to-end plug-and-play solution can accelerate up to 10 times the annotation process while providing the best quality on the market, and all of that within strict data protection policies. For that, we brought together state-of-the-art annotation tools and human experts on subjects like biology, medicine, and agriculture. This optimum combination of human inputs and machine automation allowed us so far to work on cases like tagging and annotating different types of human bones, different types of plants, and many others. So far, we've been accompanied by industry-leading organizations. We've been incubated at the European Space Agency with the collaboration of CNES, Ifremer, Ariane Group, and with the support of innovative incubators like Station F and Agoranov.
Sifflé is a data reliability platform designed to help organizations achieve more trust in their data. In today's environment, the success of every business, regardless of its size, is closely tied to its ability to efficiently leverage data. Huge investments are being made. Actually, according to IDC, the global spending for big data and AI solutions in 2021 is expected to reach $215 billion. All these investments are void if you can't start by answering a very simple yet fundamental question: can I trust the data? Sifflé helps you answer that question and a bit more. Starting with machine learning-assisted anomaly detection, Sifflé helps you automate your most recurrent use cases for data quality monitoring using a very extensive set of metrics. Sifflé also gives you a bit more flexibility thanks to what we call the custom metrics that help even your least technical users define their own use case. At Sifflé, we are pushing the boundaries for data quality monitoring by bringing end-to-end data observability. Once an alert is being fired through your most appropriate channel, your technical user, typically a data engineer responsible for the troubleshooting, will get a very extensive lineage of the data that will help them solve the problem very quickly and efficiently. We also provide more context to your non-technical users thanks to a very detailed incident management report so that they can take appropriate action. We are a team of data engineers and data consumers, and we are building the tool that we wished we had working for some of the very data mature organizations. In just under 6 months, we were able to successfully launch the first version of the product, and today Sifflé is trusted by some of the best data teams in Europe and in the US, helping them optimize up to 40% of the data team's resources. Sifflé means whistle in French, as we act as the main referee for your data platform, ensuring that bad data never gets to play the game.
Parliament is where the heart of the democracy beats. Indeed, members of the French Parliament, in both the National Assembly and the Senate, are your elected representatives. They speak in your name, they make the laws. A change in a law can affect any companies, positively, like the French restaurants when their taxes were lowered, or negatively, like the recycling industry when the copying tax was added to their products. In France, there are at least 10,000 people working full-time on public affairs. They influence the lawmaking process. On a European level, it's more like 35,000. We find this situation complicated and unclear. Chaotic debates, reports of thousands of pages, people are losing faith in the democratic process. We feel it therefore important for all citizens, NGOs and companies to get a better understanding of the legislative process, to know what your MPs have voted for in your name, and to be aware of any laws or amendments which could impact your life or your company's market. That's why we have developed a simple-to-use platform to make the French legislative process accessible and, above all, understandable for everyone. To enable this, we have linked up and restructured the data from both chambers. Easy-to-use graphics, accessible data, and an efficient search engine are examples of features of our products that will help you to increase your awareness, to make better decisions, and to participate more actively in the French democratic process. Our special expertise is data, automation, architecture, and modeling. We have used the skills to develop this platform to explain better the French legislative process, and our ambition is to deploy it on a European level and on other industries.
Hi everyone. It's a fact, companies have been massively and globally switching to hybrid work and flex office since the pandemic. But the ones that have tried to do that without the right organization and the right tools are struggling right now. Why? They're losing time by managing inefficiently distributed workforce. They're losing money by paying for underutilized office spaces. And they're losing employee engagement in what could be their main strength in attracting and retaining talents, their remote policy. That's a real shame, and that's why we've created Deskcare, the simplest and most integrated solution to help every company manage hybrid work efficiently. It's very easy to use, it's amazingly quick to deploy, and it's integrated with all the solutions companies love. So what do? First, we empower employees by giving them back control over their planning. Everyone is able to declare their status in advance, book a desk on a floor plan, and then meet their colleagues at the office by seeing who's around at any time. On the other side, for HRs and workplace managers, we give advanced statistics on office occupancy and team attendance to make their decision data-driven. But that's not all. We provide them a way to deploy their remote policy and to give a framework within which the employees will move freely. All of this while being integrated with HR information systems and communication tools so that the onboarding is quick and the user experience seamless. This deep understanding of companies' needs has led us to an incredible traction, and so far in just 5 months of sales, we've onboarded more than 25 companies, now counting more than 5,000 paying users across 11 countries. That's not all. The feedbacks over the product have been amazing, and we are now committed to continue building this 360-degree vision around our product to help every company make hybrid actually work. This was Deskcare. Reach out if you want to help us in this mission. Thank you.
Hi. Did you know that 80% of sales organizations still manage and design millions of dollars of sales commission in spreadsheets? Meanwhile, the right compensation strategy and process can increase your revenue by more than 10%. This is when Amalia comes in. Amalia.io is a no-code sales performance platform designed to bridge the gap between sales, HR, and finance. We automate sales commission calculation with the best data connectors in the market, and it leads to better designing capacities for sales ops, time saved for all the team in workflow validation for one-click payroll, experience, or target settings. And finally, we provide real-time visibility on achievement that the sales rep deserves. Amalia will help your organization in sales performance reporting with features such as customer acquisition cost, sales forecasting, revenue recognition for accounting purposes. We came to that idea following our previous entrepreneurial experience, where we noticed that quota attainment relies on great planning, seamless processes, and team alignment. Now, traction speaking. In 1 year, our team managed to convince more than 30 scale-ups to certify more than 100 million in commission throughout 20 countries. 25% month-on-month growth, 30K MRR. We are convinced that the data quality required for finance purposes will give us a unique standpoint to provide a complete suite of features for outperformance and reportings for our customers. Our team is ready to accelerate. Are you?
Did you know that behind every website page, hundreds of auctions is done to sell ads at the best price? This is how digital advertising is automated. 80% of digital advertising spend is done programmatically, which is more than $500 billion in 2022. Media agencies and sales houses use dozens of platforms to better buy and sell ads, which created a huge complexity for all. But let's focus on sales house. A sales house uses an average of 15 platforms to monetize digital advertising across all media. With all of these platforms, salespeople and account managers are unable to know how much they've done yesterday, how much publicists have done yesterday, or even if L'Oréal is one of the clients. We automate all of this. Manage is the advertising management platform for sales houses and media agencies to help them better identify advertising revenue across all platforms. Salespeople and account managers are able to identify each agencies, know how much they've done yesterday, at what are the performances, in a simple and super fast platform. One of our biggest clients, by using Manage, identified more than 20% in revenue across each agencies thanks to our automation while he was doing it manually. We have the best players in France using Manage. We're working with broadcasters like TF1, media groups like Prisma Media, or even pure player like Deezer. To this date, we're managing more than 100 million euros in revenue across all our publishers compared to 20 million last year. And we do have the best team to build this. We've been working for the biggest sales house in France, like Altis Media Group, Next Media Group, and my CTO partner has 15 years of experience in engineering. In 2022, we're focusing to expand to Europe and keep developing a technology to provide the best management platform in the advertising industry. Thank you.
Today, the healthcare industry is forced by legal requirements to respect clear and strict processes. Let's take an example. You're a lab and you are inviting some doctors to an event. The flyer they're holding on has been created and corrected by over 10 people internally before it's being submitted for a final approval to the Public Health Agency. Just after the event, you want to get this doctor a night at the hotel. The bill and the request has to go through at least 3 departments internally before it's being approved by the medical association and submitted onto a public platform. Those are only a few examples, among others, of regulatory processes impacting labs, medical devices, and biotech companies, while 70% of the industry is still using legacy tools. Cairn offers life sciences companies softwares that digitalize one by one specific processes. Our proposition, a suite of modern SaaS that enable our clients to take no legal risk, to save up to 30% of time, and to bring back the user at the heart of the process. So where do we stand today? We started in January 21. We already have 1 paying client, Thea Pharma, and we have a very dynamic sales pipe with contracts to be signed and dozens of demos each month. We are a team of 4 people, and we just finished a 200K bridge with business investors. Our vision is to become the leader in regulatory process management in France, in Europe, and in the US by offering multiple tools to a single client, by expanding to all the branches and all the business units within a client, and eventually by opening to all the related industries, starting by vets, nutrition, cosmetic, food, and chemicals.
Hello, my name is Bruno Mari, and I'm CEO and co-founder of XAR, a no-code SaaS B2B platform by subscription. A few years ago, when I was COO of a company with more than 100 employees, I realized that the creativity of the company was hampered by the slow pace of its digitalization. When we had an idea, and we had many, we had the choice between having a software developed by developers, but it was very long, expensive, and difficult to evolve, or taking an off-the-shelf SaaS, which limited enormously our capacity of transformation and therefore our ideas. But that's over, thanks to no-code.
We want to give back confidence to companies in their ability to transform their ideas into softwares in just a few hours and without a single line of code. Every day we see, with the company we work with, a collective emulation and a liberation of creativity that allow them to create new innovative systems after a long period of frustration. We believe in development and acceleration of companies thanks to these tools. Our 21st century brains are perfectly adapted to it. Software creation is now in everyone's reach, and that's what they were missing to accelerate their digitalization. Today, XAR have more than 10,000 users. Our clients are billion-dollar companies such as Enedis or Le Groupe Banque Populaire, or growing scale-ups like Ornicar or Cobuz. Our ambition now is to create a new generation of makers who will make no-code a new IT revolution for companies.
Hi, I'm Emilien, CEO and co-founder of Whaley. At Whaley, we are building a no-code looker. We do this by combining an ETL, a transformation layer, and a visualization layer, all in one, natively connected to Google BigQuery. Think of it as a combination of Fivetran, dbt, and Tableau, all in one. Data analysts from companies of all sizes use us to reduce by 10x the amount of time they need to answer a business question with data. Typical questions are, what is my customer acquisition cost? What's my customer lifetime value? Or even what's my monthly recurring revenue? Me and my two co-founders met while working in our previous company, a leading European customer data platform, serving as product managers and head of customer success. We served our customers for 4 years. But when we needed to update our reporting to answer new business questions with data, we had to pull out dev from our sprint cycle, leading us to decrease the number of features that we could release to our customers. That's why we built Whaley, to automatically collect, model, and display the data from tools you use every day without the need for any engineering resources. The business intelligence stack today is way too fragmented and made for engineers, preventing lots of companies from being able to maintain and set up such a stack. Think about it. Last year, 84% of the companies that wanted to hire data engineers couldn't find one, making it one of the scarcest tech resources in the world. We launched our company 1 year ago, commercially launched while joining Y Combinator this summer, and we already have 20 customers in 6 countries for a total MRR of 6K. Our biggest ACV today is $15,000. So with the 600,000 SaaS and professional services in the US only, this represents a $9 billion market opportunity. We are Whaley. Thank you.
Hiring is tough. A bad hire costs around 30% of an employee's first-year earnings. And in 89% of the cases, it's due to a soft skill mismatch. Meanwhile, the set of information we use has never really changed. Outdated resumes, biased interviews, and random reference calls. At Refty, we're convinced we need to revamp this, and now is the best time ever. It's our second startup in the HR tech industry. Our previous one was a talent marketplace called Breeze.io and got acquired by Hire.com a few years ago. Refty is a SaaS recruiting engine that makes reference checking and information gathering automated and easy for everyone. We turn the guesswork into actionable data. Our clients, like Alltrix from Decathlon, Livestorm, or Frishti, use Refty on any position, from executives to shop assistants. In less than 48 hours, Refty enables them to collect feedback on their candidates and leverage them to make better hiring decisions. Thousands of references have been made through Refty since we launched in January. We are building a virtuous circle based on transparency, on reliable human-generated data for both companies and candidates. This is the starting point to create the ultimate solution for this massive industry. Trust experience over intuition. Trust Refty.
Hey everyone, my name is Alexis and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Dive. Today, I want to tell you about the challenge faced by all the e-commerce brands that are using Shopify and that are scaling to $10 million in revenue and beyond. It's harder and harder for them to keep up with the data and grow profitably. Why? Because brands are using multiple tools and platforms across teams that generate a ton of data about their acquisition, their product, their finance, and their customers. But this data is hard to exploit due to a lack of technical resources and knowledge in their team. As a result, brands are struggling to drive their business based on actual metrics. That's why Thomas, my co-founder, and I teamed up in January 2021 to help merchants grow profitably. Introducing Dive, the all-in-one business intelligence software built for the direct-to-consumer brands that are using Shopify and making more than $10 million in revenue. With Dive, we're unlocking access to a whole new data playground for e-commerce teams, a playground that used to be only accessible to developers with a strong e-commerce analytics background until now. We're launching on the Shopify CMS first because the opportunity is huge. But building a state-of-the-art data infrastructure on top of Shopify is only the first step toward a bigger vision, becoming the growth enabler for every e-commerce stores on all the major CMS. In March 2021, we've built a first MVP and grew it to $2,500 in monthly recurring revenue in just 2 weeks. After months of iteration and consulting work with multi-million-dollar Shopify stores, we are now co-building the first version of Dive with a selected pool of well-known brands. To fuel our ambition, we closed the pre-seed round last July and hired 2 senior developers to complete the team. We are now getting ready to open the beta more widely, and our top priority right now is to talk with as many brands as possible and onboard them on Dive. Thank you.
Imagine owning Kush Burger, one of the best burger brands in Miami. And in a matter of weeks, you found yourself selling your burgers on online delivery platforms across Europe. Isn't it the goal of all restaurant owners to put their food out there for the whole world to enjoy? During the COVID-19 pandemic, the online food delivery market has grown exponentially and is still expected to grow to reach a staggering $425 billion by 2025. The online food delivery market has also showed us the limitation of the more traditional brick-and-mortar restaurants, especially when it comes to expansion. This is why, at FoodSetGo, we decided to build the marketplace for online food and beverage franchising. Our B2B2C solution is a sharing economy, uses the already existing ecosystem and infrastructure to roll out our solution, while ensuring all stakeholders are fairly remunerated. Firstly, we have the franchise brands, which will be able to expand at low cost, no risk, and in a timely manner. Secondly, the kitchen operators, which will be running those brands, will increase the utilization of their existing resources and increase their revenues. And finally, the customers, which will have access to a wider variety of options and at more competitive prices. We provide our solution through a set of integrated platforms and APIs, which also focus on data-driven approach, automation, and machine learning. We have a high focus on scalability, which allowed us to achieve a 50% month-on-month growth since launching operation in August 2021. And finally, we have a stellar team of specialists in online delivery, food and beverage, technology that allow us to better deliver on our vision. So join us now and let's make it happen.
Hi, I'm Eric, CEO and co-founder of Art.co. The art market is a 60 billion market sales on a yearly basis. Sales of mid-price artworks, I mean artworks priced below $50,000, is representing $10 billion sales every year. Those sales are mainly related to a primary market where galleries are selling new artworks directly for the first time to the public. There is no secondary market. Basically, if you own mid-price artworks, you are stuck with them. You don't know their price, and you have very little chance to resell them. Art.co will bring transparency and liquidity to the art market by establishing the first digital peer-to-peer marketplace for art collectors to trade their artworks directly among themselves. First of all, Art.co has developed a sophisticated pricing tool for potential buyers and sellers to agree on a fair market value of the artwork to be traded. This tool is using AI, visual recognition, and data mining, and is currently under beta testing. Second of all, the team of founders, which, by the way, are quite experienced and successful digital entrepreneurs, are developing the platform of the marketplace. This platform will provide digital certification of the provenance of the artworks and will register in a NFT-like secured way all transactions between the collectors. So stay tuned and be ready for Art.co to disrupt the art market.
When picking a brand, customer services play a major part. And with the COVID-19, customers' expectations are even higher. And here in this section, we see many sub-trends for customers' experiences and services. First, the future lies in knowing the preferences and behaviors of your online users and customers. Second, the future lies in self-service options. You need to look into self-service options for your online users. And three, the future lies in digital and omnichannel, even for brick and mortar businesses. So next are Pimster, Tandems, OneFlash, and Vocats.
Cancer, like other many pathologies, kills every day. We've seen recently as society and individual how critical healthcare and data topics are for us and our relatives. To prevent disease and improve patient care, the world is starving for new medical innovations which require high-quality medical data in input. However, although medical data is here, it's not yet structured nor qualified for medical innovators such as AI actors, clinicians, and pharmaceutical groups. There are different data formats spread among different documents and servers, so it's a real mess and an incredible loss of time for any healthcare professional at each request of data. And this is why we launched RISA, with highly skilled and experienced people in medical science, data engineering, and entrepreneurship. Together, we have started developing cutting-edge algorithms to make every medical data findable in seconds to create easy, usable, and qualified medical data sets. It applies for any AI training validation purpose, patient cohort constitution, or medical research topics. Our system is by design indication agnostic, prepared to be multilingual, and aligned with GDPR requirements. We focus first on medical imaging with close perspective of scaling to the next medical specialties. Since our launch last year, we have signed first medical partnership, validated our tech, and engaged first client pipeline. We are advised by renowned scientific professors and industry leaders, CEOs. By providing better qualified data inputs for healthcare professionals, we aim to accelerate medical innovation to improve patient care starting from now. If you're interested in medical data and healthcare topics, contact us to know how.
Hi, I'm Baptiste, and this is Jacob Schaffer. Jacob Schaffer is the inventor of user manual in 1776. Well, for the next 255 years, nothing has changed. We are still there. Every day, millions of customers are facing terrible frustration when unboxing their product. But believe me, this is only the top of the iceberg. User manual non or misreading actually accounts for 35% of after-sales tickets, 70% of product breakdowns, and obviously 100% of marketing opportunities are missed. This is the reason why we launched Pimster, the first ever product assistant to guide consumers along their product lifecycle. Available via a QR code or an URL, our interface helps customers understand the product through stories, ask their question in 2 clicks, explore additional products, or simply leave a review. We are simply connecting a very fragmented universe into a very intuitive interface. In less than 4 months, we have secured large partnerships with largest corporations in household appliances like Seb or Brandt in health and mobility, generating over 75,000 of revenues. We are now looking ahead to scale our solution to thousands of products through a powerful CMS and obviously a very passionate team. We have all completed the double degree between HEC and Polytechnic, joining Station F in July. Oh, and one more thing. The opportunities lying ahead in terms of market expansion, product monetization, or sustainability empowerment are simply enormous. So if you also believe that user manual in paper format will be gone within the next 5 years, please reach out.
Have you ever found yourself out of battery at a crucial time? Well, if this is not the case, you probably live in the cave. Hi, I'm Luca, co-founder of OneFlash. We are convinced that the physical world of yesterday will be energized by the digital world of tomorrow. Geolocation, social network, streaming and gaming.
it becomes vital to stay connected. To do so, we have created a network of charging stations for power banks that you rent on the go. How does it work? It's simple. First, open the app and find the nearest OneFlash station around you. And then, flash the station QR code and rent a power bank that allows you to charge your smartphone, your headphone, and your tablet. When you are finished charging, just drop the power bank at any OneFlash station. And crazy thing, there is 3 cables included that allow you to charge any smartphone on the planet. In 1 year, we have set up 200 stations. We have more than 20,000 rentals, and we have signed with the most beautiful brands in France, such as IKEA, Decathlon, and Carrefour. By offering them OneFlash, we help them to attract new customers in store, to increase their average basket, and to develop the digital adoption in store. We are a team of 10 people, united with the goal of killing the lack of smartphone battery. Our next challenges for the next quarter: first, improve our technology for scalability. Then, hire the best support team to onboard our new customers. And finally, develop new partnerships in order to cover European territory with more than 5,000 stations. Be part of this amazing adventure, and together, share the power.
Have you ever run away from a website because you couldn't find the information you were looking for? Yes? 88% of users are just like you. User experience has become a key factor of success for every digital company. The teams investing the most in user experience has a growth twice as high than those that don't. And to have the best UX, it is critical to understand the needs of your true users and to test your designs as quickly as possible with them. But if you want to launch a product, how do you test it? With whom? With your friends and family who are not really your target? Or maybe call a panel and delay your product launch by 3 weeks, because that's the time they'll need to recruit testers. No, you should definitely get the perfect UX for your product as soon as possible, and Tandems is the best way to do it. Today, Tandems connect product teams with the best qualified tester. Whatever their study is, our self-service recruiting platform allows them to find their first participants in less than 24 hours, thanks to a fully digitized process. And thanks to our algorithm, they find profiles who match at least 90% of their criteria. Our self-service recruiting platform is already launching 20 to 30 projects per month for companies like UX agencies, scales up, or even big corporations. In only 1 year, we have achieved 200 different studies for them, with an average growth rate of 20% per month. Tomorrow, Tandems will not just help you recruit testers, but will be a complete user research assistant. Imagine, you need to understand your huge drop rate at your payment page. You go on Tandems, adjust your target with the assistant, and let it recruit the participants for you. As you lead your user test on Tandems, the assistant is already working on video transcription and a first analysis. At the end of your study, you share your findings with your development teams in just 1 click. What you need is Tandems, the automated user research assistant for all teams.
Hello everyone, my name is Elise Pinto, CEO and co-founder of Vocats.
Hey, you forgot me. I'm Uni, the super artificial intelligence of Vocats.
Everyone can speak, so voice technologies are accessible to all. Voice technologies is an ongoing revolution. For instance, purchase by voice is estimated to reach $80 billion by 2023. But today, access to voice technologies remains complex for companies. There are acoustic and linguistic challenges with voice, and it requires development, integration, and maintenance.
It gives me headaches just thinking about it.
Well, don't worry about that anymore. Vocats is a no-code platform that democratizes access to voice technologies. It allows companies to build voice conversations with an AI in any environment. Our cutting-edge proprietary AI is able to search for any product or document by voice, accompany users during their whole journey while measuring their satisfaction, jump from one website to the other, and all this through a real and continuous voice conversation as we are having right now. Our solution is simple to use for companies. It is simple to interact with their clients and collaborators. And it becomes simple to understand them thanks to the new voice data generated.
In the end, it is by talking to each other that we understand each other, am I right?
You are. Since our creation, we have a strong traction and fast execution. In only 1 year, we developed a powerful platform with a proprietary and multilingual voice AI, onboarded our first clients, including international brands like Soprasteria.
My energy bar is filled by an experienced team of 15 people.
Yes, me and my co-founder Anthony are two serial entrepreneurs, and Anthony already did 2 exits. Anything to add, Uni?
No, my social battery has run out for today and I have a lot of work to do.
Okay, thanks.
Bye guys, and again we are Vocads.
Friends, this is the last section of this year's edition, and we love to end on the less expected ones, the moonshots. These startups here belong to a specific category. Their tech is exploratory, long-term, and groundbreaking. So in the next minutes, you will hear some crazy concepts like brain satisfactions, plants absorbing metals, affordable gene therapies, alternative to antibiotics, green dyeing process for the fashion tech industry, hacking predictions, and green space travel. So next are €1, Colibri, Everdye, Phagos, Oxitec, and Zefalto. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas, the CEO and founder of €1. We are creating the future of entertainment by offering the right content at the right moment without touching anything, just by the power of your brain. And we started with music. After 2 years of research, our first product is a patented BCI, a brain-computer interface that decodes emotions and measures in real time your level of satisfaction while you're listening to music. Developed by our top-notch engineering team, mostly made of AI PhDs and neuroscientists, our technology and software tools to interpret brain signals could be used in a variety of music apps. We have already established strong partnerships with the headphone manufacturers and the streaming services. Our approach, combining proprietary artificial intelligence algorithm with deep neuroscience expertise, allows us to define a precise mapping of users' taste before the launch of a new song and maximize the connection with their audience. And guess what? Initially developed for the music industry, the same technology could be applied to many other markets, such as politics, marketing, defense, and many more. We have succeeded in isolating neural signatures of content effects, and we use that gold mine of information to unlock new insight and opportunities for these different markets. We help brands and marketing professionals leverage neurosciences in a practical and reliable way. We offer them the possibility to enter strategic new areas for their company. Using neurosciences with €1 offer crucial insight to drive decisions and give them a competitive advantage. Thank you so much for your time, and we cannot wait to meet you here at Station F.
Antibiotics are like a bomb. They kill all microbes, whether they are good or bad. The more you use them, the more you need them, until they don't work anymore. This is called antibiotic resistance, and it is now one of the gravest threats to global health. One sector, in particular, is already facing its consequences on a massive scale: aquatic animal farming, also called aquaculture, where on average 50% of animals die of infectious diseases before making it to the market. This represents a yearly loss of $250 billion. We're Phagos, and we're developing a sustainable alternative to antibiotics. We overexpress bacteria's natural predator, the bacteriophage, to solve infectious diseases. Our bacteriophages are currently able to eliminate the target pathogen in less than 4 hours in lab conditions. And when tested in real conditions, they reduced animal mortalities by close to 50%. Leading commercial aquaculture players and government entities in Europe and Asia are already collaborating with us to develop therapies tailored to their needs. My co-founder Adele is a PhD in molecular microbiology and one of the 20 world experts in bacteriophage therapy applied to aquatic organisms. I'm Alexandros, and I'm a serial startup founder in e-commerce, fintech, and software development. Together, we combine cutting-edge lab knowledge with the latest tech tools to create a new way of treating infections. And aquaculture is just the beginning.
Thank you for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to talk.
Every 39 seconds, a new cyber attack strikes a company, costing more than $6 trillion in 2021 alone. The problem is, current tools don't prevent teams from drowning in alerts, and there's no solution that can get companies ahead of hackers. We want to change this paradigm. We believe that emulating known and unknown attacks with AI can arm companies with the most tailored protective strategies without any false alerts. And a game changer would be to do it before cybercriminals could act. Our product was developed over 7 years. Not only does it monitor vulnerabilities 24/7, but it also finds and gives you the most detailed solutions for you to fix vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. On average, 90 times faster than cybercriminals. That's unique. As a result, we've seen a 700% improvement in remediation efficiency. This is why today we're advised by some of the strongest minds in cybersecurity, from leaders of tech giants like Palo Alto Networks or Thales to generals in the army. Now, Oxide was built by 3 co-founders with complementary profiles in cybersecurity and business and more than 9 years of experience in entrepreneurship. As we're backed by more than 150 beta testers, clients, and more than 60,000 euros of pre-orders, we'll release our final product in January, already partnered with distributors in the US, in France, and in the UK. Today, cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing markets, and it will still be tomorrow. We're the only European company offering this solution. This is why we want to be the next European champion.
This summer, a 10-month-old baby got successfully cured of an incurable genetic disease. This is gene therapy. Gene therapies are game changers to treat incurable genetic diseases or cancer. The promise of a bright future. Yes, but to reach their full potential, gene therapies need to overcome 2 key challenges: the production cost and the availability of their key components, viral vectors. Today, producing 1 single dose of viral vectors can cost more than $1 million per patient. And besides, current manufacturing techniques are facing major scalability bottlenecks. This is where we step in. We are Colibri, and we create the next generation of bioproduction technologies, allowing for a 10x higher yield while reducing manufacturing costs up to 10-fold. Our patented platform leverages acoustic waves as a very gentle way to convey the cells throughout the process, keeping them happy and healthy. In other words, our technologies are specifically designed for viral vector production, making gene therapy manufacturing cost-effective, more efficient, and with a higher quality. My CTO and co-founder, Gabriel, is one of the very few people on Earth mastering the underlying physics behind acoustic cell manipulation. He holds a PhD in acoustophoresis and over 7 years of experience in developing acoustic devices to growing cells. As for myself, I'm Amélie, CEO and co-founder of Colibri. I'm an engineer by training, and I hold 7 years of experience in managing deep tech projects. And I've already successfully launched a B2B hardware company for one of my clients. We are Colibri, and we're on the mission to make the gene therapy promise a reality.
Hi, we're Everdye, and we're reshaping the textile industry with efficient dyeing processes and sustainable colors. Dyeing processes are polluting because dyes derive from petrochemicals, and inefficient because they are long and energy intensive. Just imagine that to dye a fabric, you need to immerse it in a bath of petrochemical-based colorant for more than 10 hours at more than 100 degrees. Facing these major ecological problems, fashion brands are trying to change how they manufacture garments. But when it comes to dyeing processes, they lack real scientific solutions. And new dyes still need to become ecological, isoperformant, price competitive, and scalable. But that's where we come in. We developed 2 green chemical solutions that will boost dye houses' production capacities because we can dye fabrics 5 times faster with 15 times less energy and without using any petrochemicals. We're cutting 94% of dyeing processes-related greenhouse gases emissions. In fact, we're developing and building the most sustainable and quickest dyeing process in the world while remaining very price competitive. Last but not least, Our solutions are fully compatible with existing infrastructures, and dye houses don't need to make any investment to go through our process. In the past 6 months, we've been able to go from our lab to successful industrial tests, are negotiating capsule collections with global brands, and recruited 2 international postdoctoral researchers. I've co-founded Everdye with Amira. She's an impressive materials chemistry researcher that has developed anti-biological weapon textile for the military alliance NATO. As for myself, I'm an engineer and I've held an entrepreneur in residence position at the leading French deep tech incubator. We're Everdye, and we're making sustainable fashion accessible for everyone.
Hi, I'm Fabien from Genomics. We use genetically enhanced plants to sustainably mine metals. Mining is one of the most polluting industries in the world. It is also very inefficient. Every year, 70% of metal extracted is not recovered. Why? Because mining groups can only operate on highly concentrated soils. For these reasons, mining groups face significant pressure from both governments and local communities to adopt greener and more efficient extraction methods. Using synthetic biology, we genetically enhance the natural ability of plants to absorb metals. We partner with local distributors to grow our plants for 3 months, and then we recover the metal from the biomass. Here, I'm holding some of the metal we've already recovered from our prototype plants. Our plants mine 50 times more metal than normal plants, recovering several tons of metal an hectare a year on soils miners cannot address. They could increase mining groups' revenues by close to 30%. And they do it in a very sustainable way. They capture carbon dioxide and significantly contribute to soil depollution. They have the ultimate power to reverse the adverse impact of the mining industry. Naturally, mining groups are also very interested in our technology, and they are committing both data and resources. We're also backed by some of the best scientists in the field. We have secured strategic collaborations with leading institutions, and we are currently recruiting a top-notch team with a collective professional experience of almost 100 years. We are the right team to do this. Dali, my co-founder, is a brilliant biotech PhD. She brings significant experience in metal hyperaccumulation and holds a critical patent for the development of our technology. As for me, Fabien, I'm a former strategy consultant and mining engineering. Join us on our journey, and let's grow metals together.
Up there, at 25 kilometers, it's the stratosphere. You see the curvature of the Earth. You see the sun in the darkness of space. You see millions of stars. You confront yourself to eternity. My name is Amici Monclar. I'm the managing director of Zefalto, and with my co-founders, we have this vision: an 8-hour flight that will transform your life. And the way to get up there has to be as beautiful as the site. So it's low-carbon space voyage in a stratospheric balloon. We are based on a tech transfer from the French Space Agency, so we have 60 years of flight heritage. We have already flown our 80 meters prototype with pilots on board. Our team is made up of Vincent Ferrier-Dacier, aero engineer, who is an air traffic controller, he's the founder, Caroline Domange, who is the co-founder of LVMH Hotel Management, Jean-Luc Dimunch, former head of quality at Airbus Defence and Space, and myself, former strategic consultant. Commercial flights will start in 2024, and the offer is racing to meet the demand of 1.5 million of very high net worth individuals who are dying to get up there. We have already 400 pre-booked passengers. We are already exploring the stratosphere with our balloons. We are developing scientific projects, and we are creating this community around exploration, around rediscovering the beauty of nature, around giving back. Join us. We're Zefalto.